So my name is Trisha Doty, and I work for Liberty Pumps. I am the assembly supervisor. I've been with Liberty Pumps for 6 years. So some of the responsibilities for an assembly supervisor is production scheduling, order fulfillment, and team building. Being an assembly supervisor is important to Liberty Pumps because on a daily basis we get multiple orders in for our customers, and those get sent out to the line. So having an assembly supervisor who they can come to get information on what orders they should process first. Each line is aware of what they have to build for the day, but there is scheduling involved in it. There's shipments that have to go first. They have a priority. So we're very team oriented. We see what orders have to be built for the day. The lines work on what we call a pull system. So the whole entire line could have anywhere from 1 person to 7 people on the line, and they work together to get the orders done throughout the day, and have them prepared and ready for shipping to come over and pick up and release out the door. So it is a team effort to have everything done. The typical workday for me starts at 5 a.m. It's usually a 9 to 10 hour workday. When I come in first thing in the morning, I'm usually coming in as third shift is leaving. So there's some communication going on between myself and the third shift team lead as to what orders maybe need to be processed still or to get done. So the morning would start there. I would look at the schedule and see the production rate on each line and what possibly would have to be pushed out, pulled ahead, that type of thing. And then I start to walk around to our inventory and I do a shelf stock count. We have shelf stock racks out on the floor for our most popular units so that shipping can constantly pull from that. So I'll do a count on that and get numbers and take those numbers to the line so that they're aware of what they actually have to build for shelf stock for the day to keep that going. Amongst that time, we usually have our stretching going on. So every morning at between 5 and 5:05, we have a stretch coach session. One of the members on the floor will stand up and lead them through stretching, which helps with our ergonomics. It helps keep the injuries down on the floor. So that happens. I then will communicate with each line, just check in, stop and say, hey, how's it going? Do you have all the parts that you need? Is there anything you need me to get for you? Just keeping that open communication, with everybody. I usually head back to my office, put in all the stock counts. So what inspired me to work in manufacturing? It's a little bit of a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and I had a change in my marriage, which led me to look for a career. I landed a position here in the assembly department, so I did work just on the floor in the assembly department. And that was 6 years ago, this August, so just my 6-year anniversary. As I started working here, this company is amazing. The support and encouragement that you get from everybody is beyond, it's just amazing. I can't even think of another word. And so I'm the type of person that once I start to learn something, I want to learn more and I want to continue and learn more. So that is something that I did. I would constantly ask questions and see if I could try another line. And I started to be what they call as a floater. And so I would go to multiple lines throughout the day, kind of wherever they needed to fill in to get the orders done. And that's what I became. And I actually worked my way through the assembly floor and back into the section that I actually supervise now. And when I started back there, I was just, I was on the line as an assembler and the team lead position came up. So I approached Mike, this other supervisor at the time, for the team lead position, and I did get that. And from there, it's taken off. Anytime I had any more I wanted to learn more. I wanted to, further my education. They were very supportive. I would just ask, and they were like, "Sure, let's see what we can do. Let's get you into this." So, there were some courses that I took at GCC to help me with my leadership skills and that too, which basically led me to where I am today. So communication skills are huge. You're going to be dealing with not only your members, but also other supervisors in the other departments. So personality traits that you would need to be successful in the role is you need to be approachable. You definitely need to be flexible. You want your team to be able to come to you no matter what kind of problems that they're having. So we have an open door policy here, and I have that, all the time. The compensation for being an assembly supervisor can range anywhere from $40,000 to $48,000 a year. The benefits that Liberty Pumps has is like no other. We have free health insurance here. We have vision insurance. They offer us an HSA to help. Our health insurance is a higher deductible, so the HSA is money that they put in every week to help pay for those deductibles. We also are an ESOP company, so on top of having a 401k, we have an ESOP, which is an employee stock ownership program, which they can contribute to as well. They have a tuition reimbursement program, so if you're interested in taking any classes, it's just a process that you have to go through, filling out some paperwork, explaining your interest in the classes, how you would use them here at Liberty Pumps, and they're pretty supportive and encouraging to have you take those classes. What I like most about my job, especially here at Liberty Pumps, is the culture that we have. It is like one big happy family, and that was something that I noticed from day one of starting here. I do like that it's fast-paced, that it's pretty much ever-changing. Not one day is the same. I like being part of the bigger picture, all of us working together, collaborating together from other departments to get things done. And of course, we have a lot of celebrations, so that's always a plus. So one of the most challenging parts of the job is when we do have people who call in sick or are on holidays, vacations and whatnot. Having enough of a team to get all the work done can be a struggle. We are very good about bouncing people around from line to line to get the orders done, but it can cause a little bit of a hectic situation. What I would tell my younger self to better prepare for this role would be to take some public speaking classes. You're going to be talking a lot, whether it's in meetings or interviews, giving tours. So having those little tidbits of help to get through certain situations is something that I would definitely recommend. Another thing is, and even some, HR or interpersonal type leadership classes, learning how to deal with conflict or any struggles that may come up. So the advice that I would give to somebody who is thinking about going into this position when they're older is you need to stay very positive. There's going to be a lot of challenges and struggles throughout the day that you're not expecting. Having that positive attitude, showing your team that you always have a positive attitude even when things aren't going well, is huge. Another thing would be being willing and open. Ask questions. Don't turn away from any corrective criticism. Be willing to have that instruction from another peer. Getting a mentor is huge. I had 2 mentors as I was going through my leadership program, and that helped me excel tremendously.